Hey everybody, welcome back to the Life and Legacy Circle YouTube channel. Love to have you guys join in for the journey again. If you haven't, hit subscribe, join this channel, get some information, watch some views. Love to have you guys along. So in my last video, I briefly mentioned my mother and my father both previously passing away within probably about 2 years of each other. And I described some of the conversations that we were having. And I don't want anybody to sit back and think that conversations were planned or sat down or anything. It was just very organic conversations. So to kind of put this all into a sense, back in 2018, my father passed away from stage 4 lung cancer. So as you can imagine, anybody that have seen anybody pass away from any type of cancer knows that it's not fun to watch. It's very heartbreaking. It's very stressful, depressing in a way. And my mother and I and my wife, we watched that for 6 months to 8 months of just deterioration. And before he passed away, we would go to Atlantic City, we would go here, we would go there, and we had time in the car to just talk. And it would be, when this happens, you have this, you have that, look here, look there, talk to this person, talk to that person. When there was mail coming in, we were at the house, mail would come in and be like, oh, hey, don't forget we got this, and don't forget we got that. So there was never really an actually structured sit down conversation. But when the time came to have to take care of the estate and take care of those things, it just made it so much easier to deal with. And then fast forward 2 years later, when my mother had her stroke in July of 2020, we actually found her 3 days later, 4 days later. We kind of backtracked to when the last person that talked to her was, and kind of figured it out. And that kind of really, I felt bad for a very long time, because it was during a very busy period of my life. And it was one of those, oh, got to call mom today, and don't call her, don't call her. And finally it was like, I stopped to give her a call. She didn't answer the phone. Wasn't too worried about that. But when I called again later, again, wasn't too worried. But when I didn't get a return call in the morning, that's when I was worried. And that's when my wife and I went to the house, and we found her lying underneath the living room table, trying to get to the phone to call somebody. And for a very long time that hit me, but I went to the hospital every day, pretty much, except for maybe 3 days or 4 days that one of her sisters or one of my cousins or another family member went to go see her in the hospital. But for every day, it was go to work, change, go to the hospital, come home, stress out, go to bed. And I did that for about 80 something days, until she finally passed away in hospice. And when you're an only child and you're watching something like that happen, and you have those thoughts of like, okay, she's going to be getting out in amount of time, and all of a sudden things start to switch and turn, and she's not, and you have to switch gears, and you have to do this, and you have to do that. It is very stressful. It's very depressing. And then when that's all done, you have to deal with an estate. Not fun. Not fun at all, especially as an only child. You have nobody to lean on. You have nobody to turn to. Luckily, I had some family there, aunts and a couple cousins that were, always kind of like behind me and give me a little bit of help here and there. But if you're truly, truly alone and you have no insight on what's going on the after end, it is horrible. It is difficult. I will always be happy that I was on the prepared side of that. Even though the outcome sucked, the preparation helped me. I have been on the unprepared side. And let me tell you, that really sucked. And I was only the in-law on that. It was my wife's mother that passed away. And that was a cluster for many reasons, but the unpreparedness of what was done, and I'll give it to you. My brother-in-law tried to get everything prepared before this event happened. She had a stroke just like my mother, except she was worse off than my mother and passed away a lot sooner than my mother. And, it was, don't worry about it. Just call these people and they'll handle it. Well, unfortunately, we couldn't find out who these people were or who these people could help us, and it turned into a cluster. So with Life and Legacy Circle, again, like I said in the very first video, I am trying to help as many people not make those mistakes, because it is stressful. And now, in this day and age, with technology, with fraud, with everything else that we're dealing with, it is a whole lot harder to actually access and do some of these things if you are not prepared for it. Okay, so I just want to irradiate here, if that's even a word, but I am not legal advice. I am not medical advice. I am not tax advice. I am not financial advice. I am somebody who has went through the process and knows what was involved and what still has to be taken care of and what was taken care of to help families avoid the extra stress, avoid a financial burden, avoid foreclosure on a home because nothing was prepared. All of those things do and can happen on a daily basis. So subscribe to this channel, continue watching. We will hopefully be able to bring in other viewers that have went through these things, that have seen them, that can contribute, that can help, and basically just help build this community up. All right. Have a great day.